Run it up, then run it back. Run it up, then run it back. Run it up, run it back. Run it up, then run it back. Yeah.
You know, I don't like starting the show with a question that I've got to think about now. Chandler doing some existential crisis stuff before the show. Welcome.
Little demon talk.
We will. Chandler Parsons, Michelle. We got Bruce Bowen coming up a little later. That's actually a good question for people to ponder. Would you like to ask them before we get to the hoops?
Would you rather never have a memory again or forget all your memories?
Think about
Never
it.
have a memory again.
Wow. Okay, I'm going to think about
I think
that.
I'd forget all my memories. If you can't make any more memories, what's the point of living?
Okay, well, that's deep. We're gonna get the hoops right now.
That's good podcast
Think
talk
about
right
it.
there.
I know. I kind of love that.
You can use it.
Sixers,
I saw it on Instagram.
Celtics.
I didn't come up with it.
Game 5. Boston still, leading this one 3-2, but my goodness, Philadelphia.
It's a bit of a shocker
stunner.
here.
I know, 113-97, your final. Joel Embiid, you know what? This actually made me very happy. 33 points, 8 assists. Tyrese Maxey with 25, Tatum at 24. Boston, this is one of those nights where they shot a bunch of threes, 39 of them, made 11. But we just talked about Joel Embiid yesterday. We talked about whether the process has been a failure or not, and what does he do? Goes out there and balls out.
And you know what's crazy? This is a dude, too, who obviously we know the history of his injuries and everything he's been through. This guy had an emergency surgery less than 3 weeks ago. So I think we do need to give him a little bit of grace of him coming back, missing the end of the season, and having I think the fans and everyone was a little confused at how aggressive he was last night, how they put him in the starting lineup, how he kind of was the main focal point of the offense after that backcourt had kind of carried them and kind of held, tread water without him. But this is Joel Embiid we're talking about. This is just a normal, average basketball player. When he is on, he is dominant, and he gets going with so many easy looks earlier in the game that even Jaylen Brown said, I think that propelled him to get going, to get his confidence. And this was an MVP-type version of Joel Embiid. And when he is like this, they are a completely different team, and they can still have a balance, right? They can still have a balance of playing through him in the post. Those guards get out in transition. ISO with Paul George. Like, this team has a little bit of everything, and they're a very versatile team, but they're so much better when there's this version of Joel Embiid who can dominate the post and equalize, anything that, any other big man on the Celtics could do.
Yeah, I thought he was brilliant in the second half. I love the adjustment that he made during this game. When you play against the Boston Celtics, they put you in a position where you got to shoot a lot of three-pointers for you to be successful. Joel Embiid said it after the game. He kind of got sucked into the game plan of shooting a bunch of threes. He was 0 for 5 in the first half from the three-point line, came out in the second half, used his size, used his body to be the dominant force that we've grown accustomed to seeing Joel Embiid do. There was a couple of times in that game, he just lowered his shoulder and laid the ball up on guys. Vucevic and the other young man, I'm not gonna butcher his name, so I'm gonna keep moving. But Kata. But both of those guys, he just put his shoulder down and he just abused them in the paint. And then he used that to get to his turnaround, the fadeaways, and all of those things. Now, I still think the best version of the 76ers is when Joel Embiid is a complementary piece to these young stars.
To the young guys, yeah.
I think the guard has shifted. Tyrese Maxey is the man of this team. They're a better team when they're playing fast, when they're up the court, when he's able to play in the open floor, and Joel Embiid, he eats off of that. I still think that's the best version of them. But for him to have the mindset and knowing that I need to switch up how I'm approaching this game and how I'm tackling, especially it's been my second game back in a month and some change, and just turning myself into a jump shooter and then becoming more dominant, I thought that was a brilliant adjustment that he made for this team to be successful last night.
It's catch-22, right? He's so talented and skilled that sometimes he does settle, and the way the game is played now, he can kind of float around the perimeter. Instead of picking and rolling, he picks and pops. And like Lou said, I think he's much more dominant when he gets to the foul line, when he gets in that paint, because he is a big dude. Like, you can't guard him one-on-one. So now you're forcing double teams. You're putting kind of the Celtics defense at a disadvantage, scrambling, and then you got guys like Oubre and Paul George and the Grimes that can knock down shots once you get them playing on the backside, 3 against 4. So again, I think he provides just a different kind of presence that they obviously don't have without him. And I agree, this is Tyrese Maxey's team. This is Tyrese Maxey's team going forward. He's proven that. He's been the healthiest, most consistent player on this team for a really long time. But they are so much better with Joel Embiid as this version.
I remember I had a coach in the league that used to say, a 7-footer at the three-point line, we're all the same size out there.
Yeah.
We're all the same size at the three-point line. So when you have a guy that's so dominant, that's a force like Joel Embiid, and he's living at the three-point line, he's not putting very much pressure on the defense. He's living and dying by the three-pointer. He's taking his chances at the three. But the minute that he steps inside that line and he wants to put pressure on you and use his size to dominate and try to get to the rim, that makes the defense react to all of that. That makes the defense collapse. Now that opens up the lanes for other guys to be successful. Paul George's been shooting the hell out of it in this series. Once you allow him an inch worth of airspace, that changes the game. That changes the way that the 76ers can attack. Like, they put on a masterclass in that fourth quarter, and I think that started with Joel Embiid attacking that rim and opening up the three-point line for everybody else.
You know, this morning was the first time I've really heard anybody, like, talking heads, whatever, give Philadelphia a real shot at coming out of this, because I think it was a foregone conclusion for a lot of experts that the Celtics they're on their way to the Eastern Conference Finals, at least. After what you saw last night, Lou, what kind of a chance are you giving Philly to pull off this upset?
Well, whatever the percentage was, I'm sure it's up today.
Significantly.
You know, yeah. Now, Boston is one of those teams. I had a conversation with Sam Cassell at halftime at the game that I was at the other day, and he said, we don't care. We're going to shoot it. That's our game plan. We're going to shoot threes. We're going to get threes up. They are a three-point shooting team, and as you can see last night, they shot 11 for 39. If they clean that up, they feel comfortable about their chances in winning a basketball game. Now, I do think they shoot it better than that because you got so many different guys that can shoot it, from White to Pritchard, Tatum, Brown, all of these guys. Even Vucevic can step out and make threes for this team. That's just the identity of this group. When they don't shoot it well, they don't play as well on the defensive end, and they were able to allow Philadelphia to gain some confidence in that second half of this game. Now, would that be the same conversation back in Philadelphia for Game 6? We don't know. But I think Boston, they go as their three-point shot goes, and if Philadelphia can contain that like they did in this last game, they got a great opportunity to tie it up.
Yeah, everyone that plays for this Boston team is a three-point threat, except Keita, right? So that means 8, 9, 10 guys are shooting threes, and in losses, they're 27% from the three, and in wins, they're 41% from three.
Big difference.
Crazy.
So they are living and dying, and they're living pretty good usually.
They live pretty.
But when they miss, man,
they're
it's
pretty
ugly to
decent.
watch.
They're living pretty healthy because, again, like Lou said, like guys like Hauser and Shireman, Tatum, Pritchard, like these guys are elite three-point shooters, and the way they attack and drive the paint and get out in transition, they get good looks. They get open looks. They just can't have many fourth quarters like they just did. They lost 28-11. They scored 11 points in the fourth quarter. They're not winning many games against anybody scoring 11 points in the fourth quarters. They have to finish the game, and they have great closers on their team to do that. It's very dependent on the three-point ball.
It's on a three ball, and it's also on the bench. Boston's bench has been brilliant in this series. Last night, Philadelphia kind of got even. I think that was the difference in this game. Like, you look at a guy like Peyton Pritchard, had 30-some points in Game 4 in Philadelphia, started Game 5 pretty decently, and then kind of cooled off, and it didn't work in their favor. If that's a team that can get their bench going again, they're going to put a lot of pressure on Philadelphia to be able to level up with that. But because they didn't have the impact in those previous games, and they allowed Philadelphia to have an impact off the bench, I think that also, along with the three-point line, was a big difference in the outcome of this game.
The three-point line is coming up in this next one because Derek White's 21%. From that specific area, under 9 points a game so far averaging in this one, which is crazy because we've gotten very used to Derek White being a very big deal in these types of moments. If you're the Celtics and you're thinking ahead, and we know Giannis he's floating around out there, do you think about maybe trading Derek White?
For a Giannis?
If you can get Giannis.
Well, there's going to be a lot more involved. I mean, it's not going to just be that simple.
Yeah, and it's not just going to be Derek White.
No.
But yeah, for sure.
He's making a lot of money.
And I don't even think that's offensive to say. Like, there's levels to these players, and Giannis is a top 5 player in the NBA. And if you get a chance to get him, there's going to be some uncomfortable conversations and decisions that front office is going to have to make. And Derek White might be included in those. That's not even saying because he's struggling this series.
No.
Even
There's
if
money
he's playing
involved
great
here.
this season, this is a business, and he's probably going to be the guy that Milwaukee would want because he's such a versatile, he's one of the best role players in the NBA. He's efficient, he defends, a great shot blocker from his position. Like, he does it all. And so if I'm Milwaukee, yeah, I'd want one of those two main guys, and I'd want Derek White, and I'd want picks, and I'd give me Keita. Like,
wow.
I want everything
Louise.
for Giannis. But yes, we're so used to him being so efficient and productive in the way he plays. And again, he's a player where it's not necessarily tailored on his stat line. He has so much impact elsewhere. But you want to see him shoot the ball better than 21 or 22% from three. You want to see him average more than 8 or 9 points in a series. And I still think they get out of this series, but for them to advance.
How positive are you they get out of it?
Beat the Knicks or the Hawks, and then to beat the Pistons or Magic, like they're gonna need the best version of Derek White.
And I was about to say, and with that, it's just a matter of the series. Sometimes this series just isn't yours. Like, Derek White is probably one of those guys that this is not his particular series, but it's been Peyton Pritchard's. Like, he's had all the success in the world. I almost want to say he's kind of carried Boston, and now that's being a little dramatic because obviously you have Tatum and Brown leading the way, but his impact on the floor every time that he stepped on in this series, he's been a difference maker. And sometimes when you have a third guy like that, a third option, fourth and fifth guys, they kind of just find something else to do. So I think Derek White has found other ways to impact the game outside of just shooting the three ball and being an offensive force with his team.
Guys, can we lift our cups real quick? Go ahead. Go ahead and cheers. Spurs made it out of the first round of the playoffs. First time since 2017. Here we go.
You set us up for that one.
I got y'all. 114-95. Fox with 21. He had 13 in the fourth. 9 assists. Champagny. I love when Champagny just shows up. 19 points for him. Wemby. 17, 14, and 6. Deni finishes with 22 and 4 turnovers. But like I said, first playoff wins series since 2017. And when you watch the games or you listen to people talk about it, you couldn't be more positive. It's very weird, the way they've been speaking about San Antonio, Lou. When you watch them play the last night or this whole series, do you see a team that could actually give OKC a run for their money?
They look sharp. They look sharp. Now, I don't know if you can equate that to their opponent or them just being motivated and ready to play in these playoffs, but they look good from top to bottom. Defensively, they've been brilliant. Offensively, they've taken advantage of everything that's given to them in this game. And they've added something to their resume that I didn't even know they had. They got a little chippy last night.
Yeah.
I didn't realize they had that in their repertoire, where they're willing to get their hands dirty and we can mix it up a little bit. Y'all want to play dirty, we can play dirty too. That was something interesting that I saw in this Spurs team that I hadn't really identified with them as something that was going to be something that they were going to do in this playoff. So when you add all of those things up, I do feel like they look like one of the stronger teams in the Western Conference. Obviously, with the Thunder sweeping Phoenix, this is business as usual as them. That's my line for them. But the Spurs are turning into a business as usual team as well. So now I look forward to the next round and them getting challenged and seeing how they react to that. But they did everything they were supposed to do in this series.
Plus 320, I'd put $1 on that.
Yeah,
I'll put $1 or two.
It's almost like I'm expecting OKC to do what they did.
Oh, okay.
And I'm impressed when San Antonio does it. Like, I'm not impressed.
Well said.
Like, I'm not impressed the Thunder swept the Suns. Like, I expected them to do that. I'm impressed, like, how the Spurs handled this series and a young kind of budding team in Portland that plays hard as hell. Like, I love the fact that this team.
They were a play-in team, though.
But for sure. And we talked about it next year, too. They're going to be better. They still might be a play-in team because the West is so deep. But they're on to something in Portland. I'm sure we'll get to them. But San Antonio kind of handled this first real playoff series very well in my mind, with Wemby going down, going deep in the bench. De'Aaron Fox has kind of turned into like their closer in a way where they put the ball in his hands.
We had that one game, and then he woke up. Now it's like
he gets big buckets down the stretch. You can tell he's just the guy that calms everyone down. You see Keldon Johnson's kind of turning their like emotional leader on the bench, kind of firing them up, not letting them take their foot off the gas. Like, they have a little bit of everything. And now, are they the team that I think can challenge OKC the most? I do. I think they're great. They're still going to have a tough series next, no matter who they play. But this team is really impressive. This is a team that we thought was kind of on the rise in the beginning of the year that's kind of, again, exceeded all expectations, just continue to get better and better, and has turned into a real contender.
Did you also see Wemby after the game wouldn't even shake Deni's hand?
Yeah, I got no problem with that.
I see you, Wemby. Oh, no, I love that.
I almost am mad at Castle for doing it.
I'm mad at Thank you. I'm mad at everyone else for doing it. After this one, Shaq actually called Wemby the first perfect big man that was ever created.
That's high praise from Shaq. Shaq doesn't give anybody credit.
At all.
Especially at the center position.
Yeah, what do you make of that? That's a big word.
That's high praise from Shaq. But again, I've seen Wemby make plays that I haven't seen anybody else make in the history of the game. I talked about it the other day. Usually when a guard goes downhill and a big has to step over and help, that is an easy dump off or that's an easy routine lob. Wemby is guarding both. He's guarding the guard and he's being able to get back and help. I don't think people realize how much ground that he's covering in some of these defensive and some of these possessions. Offensively, how do you guard a guy that has everything in his bag? I still think he's a little too friendly sometimes on the offensive end. I like to see him be way more aggressive in a lot of different scenarios. But again, how do you guard this off the dribble? This is off the dribble. This is a spin move and a fadeaway. Trailing plays. I'm coming down the lane. Defense. I'm helping over. Every single thing that he does is just impactful, whether it's on offense, whether it's on defense, him just being a presence, it's just hard to deal with.
I will say those words coming from Shaq is even more impressive because we know he doesn't give big guys the credit that they might deserve.
He's still at war with Dwight Howard.
But he's not lying. Like, I've never seen an offensively skilled big like Jokic. I've never seen a dominant guy like Shaq, but to do all of that in one and the impact he has defensively, I've never seen it before. And again, there's been greats, bigs in the history of the league, but those three in general, when I think about them, like I've never seen a skilled point center like Jokic.
It makes no sense.
I've never seen a physical presence dominating the rim like Shaq. And now Wemby's kind of this combination of everything that's kind of a guard, but so tall and athletic and long. Like, I've never seen someone like him. So he is kind of the perfect big if he can stay healthy. But, man, he's unbelievable. And just his presence alone. Like, I see grown-ass NBA players like fear even taking shots if he's in the general, like, vicinity. It is absurd the impact he has defensively. Like,
you guys
are
too young for this, but you ever seen the movie Weird Science? They create the perfect woman. This is literally that. Like this, when Shaq says that, that's what I'm imagining. I'm like, it's the perfect center
He's insane.
that man created. By the way, watch the movie. It's good. It's got some people's, you'll recognize them.
All
Great
right.
80s movie. Okay, if you're the Spurs, let's just pretend for 1 second. Would you rather play Denver or Minnesota? Go.
Well, I'd rather Minnesota just because Anthony Edwards
And by the way,
is probably
you might get Ant back in the series.
I still would rather them banged up, no DiVincenzo. I think, again, I think both of them would be tough matchups if fully healthy. And on the flip side, still the Nuggets, you don't know what's going on with Aaron Gordon, Peyton Watson, he's out. But yeah, if I'm them, I'd obviously like them to play for another week in the series, fight all the way back down, and be banged up without their best player and another starting player in DiVincenzo. But either way, they're going to have their hands full because even if Minnesota somehow gets out of the series, they have other guys that can produce. And if not, I'm looking forward to a Wemby-Jokic matchup.
Because that game we got right before the season ended?
Insane.
Yeah, if I'm the Spurs, I'd rather play the T-Wolves. But if I'm Lou Will as a fan, I'd rather see them match up with Denver. But yeah, the T-Wolves are banged up, and like Chandler just mentioned, even if they get out of this series, they're still not whole. They still don't have all the pieces that they need for them to be successful, especially with a San Antonio team that can go deep in their bench and get a lot of production from a lot of different guys in a lot of different ways. And so for that, the way Denver's been able to plug and play some of the guys in their rotation, I think they would much rather see the T-Wolves.
Yeah. It's kind of crazy because I look at both of them like it's going to be hard no matter what. Like that's how, as a fan, this is going to be, it's going to be difficult. Let's talk a little Deni Avdija. Averaged 22, 7, and 5. Made himself quite the enemy in San Antonio. I love that for him. But is he a...
You know, that kind of confused me last night.
Talk to me.
Fox pushed him, and he got teed up last night. What did I miss in that whole
the reaction, and then they reviewed it, and it wasn't actually a flagrant play. Maybe he flailed a little bit.
He definitely flailed. Also, shout out to the Spurs Jackals and whoever made that tooth thing in the
unreal.
Brilliant.
You see this?
Chef's kiss.
There was a fan that held 2 teeth,
Giant
and one
teeth.
of them just kept chipping it because he has a chipped tooth.
I've never seen it. It was creative as all get out. I've never seen anything like it.
I will say, this dude put
is he a number one?
On notice.
Okay.
Like, he is an absolute stud. When I watch him play, he is like a more athletic, faster Luka offensively with a tight handle, gets to the rim. Not saying he's a better player than Luka, not even comparing him to Luka, but this guy has got it all. And if he continues to work on his perimeter jump shot and his handle, like he can handle and pick and roll, he can set pick and roll, you can go small with him, you can go big. Like, he is an unbelievable finisher at the rim, and he has put the whole world on notice that he is for real. First-time All-Star. Like, this is someone that you can build around. Washington, you smoked it by trading this dude. Like, my God.
Shocking.
I don't know how or why you did that, but You pair him with Dame Lillard coming back.
I was just gonna say,
with this talent they have with Shaedon Sharpe and Grant and Drew Holiday coming back and Klingon and Scoot.
That's not awful.
I even like the kids that they put at the end of the game last night. The French kid.
They got a lot of like-sized guys. I'd like to see how they sort it out by next season.
The bigs, like Robert Williams. I'm saying they have a little bit of everything, and we were talking about this before the show. Like, are they a playoff team next year? And then we went through the list.
And Dame's coming back. Like, we forget.
The West, again, is so deep, but this kid is a bona fide stud, and I hope he stays healthy because he is an unbelievable talent, especially offensively. He's tough. He talks shit. Like, he gets into it. He plays defense. Like, he does it all. And I hope that this new owner realizes that and pays him.
It doesn't sound like it.
Everything you hear, he's not paying
By the way,
the janitors.
on a slow day, we're going to get into that guy.
Well,
like, we're going to do about 30 minutes on that.
Well, give me 30 seconds. Okay. To not have the young guys travel is egregious. That is the whole point that you draft these
part of the
guys
experience.
to
Well, he
get
wasn't there
them
for
to
that.
the playoffs so they can understand what it's all about. So to have them stay at home in the playoffs is ridiculous.
We could have a whole
I'm telling you,
conversation on this, but
we're gonna have
as
a
a team and a unit,
Never
and
heard
a
of such a
family and
thing.
an organization, you don't treat people like
Even
this.
the front office people travel for the playoffs. Everybody is all in playoff basketball. You leave nobody at home.
Thinking
There's a list of things this guy's already done.
He's thinking at it like
well,
a
I'm
business.
gonna stick to the basketball part of it. I'm gonna stick
lot.
to the basketball part of it. Playoff basketball is your city versus my city, your organization versus my organization throughout. You don't leave anybody at home, especially somebody who can potentially go out there and be a player for you in the next season to come.
Also, why
does
would
that
you
matter?
want-
Remember going to like different cities and you would see like, oh, this team has the craziest catering, or this team, let's just use their gym
part
or
of the
their weight room.
process.
Like, you remember that come free agency time and when you're ranking and judging franchises within your own conversation. Like, this is a topic, again, I don't even know how we got here, but it pisses me off.
Well, I
as a
said
player.
30 seconds.
This is a topic that will come up with my agent when I'm a free agent, that how these people are treating this company.
Get me out of here.
I don't like it. I don't like it at all.
By the way, Dame Lillard coming back real quick. What's that ceiling look like, Lou? Because I personally was like, oh, yeah, he's coming back.
Yeah, when you add somebody like Dame Lillard, you got to be excited about that. My only issue with it is, like I said, you got a lot of like-sized guys. You're gonna have Drew Holiday, you're gonna have Dame Lillard, you're gonna have Deni, you're gonna have Scoot. You got a lot of guys that do the same type of thing at the same positions. How do you sort that out? Does that give you depth, or does that logjam you at that position? But it's a good problem to have. They got a lot of talent in those areas, but any time that you can add a Dame Lillard, even at 36 years old, whether he turns himself into a standstill shooter or he's going to be the Dame Lillard of old that we know, when you add him to a lineup, you get a better opportunity to win games.
And they get New Orleans pick this year, too, which could be a good one.
I'm telling you, there's something there. There's something there, you guys. We're going to take a very, very
Hire a coach,
break.
too.
No, that's another thing. $1.5 million is your salary, so good luck with that.
I'd do it.
For 1.5?
Yeah, I mean, yeah.
All right, like, well, that's a way to end a sentence.
Wow, Tom Dundon. You hear that?
I'm probably one of the only people that qualify at that
There's
number.
Bruce. So, he'll do it for 1.5. We'll see
Who
if
else
Bruce will go
qualifies
up.
at 1.5?
Bruce might do it for 1.
I'm a legend of my time.
Bruce Bowen, who else?
Coming for yours, you're coming for mine. I'm a legend of my time.
Oh, popping a suit days, Bruce. What's up, Bruce Bowen? 3-time champ. How are you? ¿Cómo estás, Ted?
Muy bien, ¿y tú?
Muy bien, muy bien. Fluent in Spanish. It's a lovely thing. So, number one, good to see you. Been a long time. But number two, 5-game series, donezo. What are you seeing from San Antonio Spurs right now? How far can they go?
Well, what I see right now has been tremendous because it's been a long time since we've been able to have this type of energy in the city. And when you talk about this young team, what I like to look at is that it's not just you beat the Spurs by doing X. It has to go X, Y, Z, and then you have to be just as good as they are. When we look at what Castle and Harper are able to do from the wings and what Wemby's able to do, period, it is special. But then you add Champagne, you add Fox, what he's been able to do as far as being the catalyst of this group and everyone understanding their roles. That, I think, is the most underrated aspect of this group right now, is that everyone thrives in their role, whatever it is at that given time. No one knew that Wemby would be out, and so Now you had to lean a little bit heavier on Steph Castle as well as Harper. But I just love the fact that I see similarities when I talk about the role play of the 2000s championship teams as well as this group here.
Bruce, let me ask you this: with the struggles of the Nuggets in this first round against Minnesota, are the Spurs the only team that has a chance against Oklahoma City, or is the discrepancy that big?
I don't think it's that big. I think it still takes a lot of fortune and opportunity. And, obviously Pop coached me to understand that you can't ever look past anyone or anything. You never know what can happen in a series. And so I think right now, when you talk about OKC, they're the defending champions. And they had to do it in a certain way that was unconventional as far as leading it with Shea. Now, you talk about this team now, the only thing that we wish we could speed up is the experience in the playoffs. That is something that takes time. Both of you guys have had the opportunities of playing in an environment that required more experience than necessarily just talent.
Yeah,
absolutely. And Bruce, I want to ask you about Wemby. Like, what do you see in him? You've played with Tim Duncan. You've played with David Robinson. Is there any doubt in your mind that he can go down as one of the greatest Spurs of all time? And not only that, one of the greatest players of all time?
Well, Lou, what a great question that is, because now I know I'm going to hear this from Tim and David. David don't care. But, no, it's one of those things where he's come into an environment, and honestly, he wanted to be here. So when he gets the opportunity to lean on David and Tim, it's like your nephew. You want people in your family to be better than you.
Right.
And sometimes that gets hard in our business because we want to hold on to whatever it was we had. But when it comes to Wemby, everybody recognizes that he's just different. I tell this story about how he was in the paint and the ball swung around and he was able to contest the three and almost block it. That has never been seen before because, it takes a swing, and you got your chance, especially when a big man's in the paint. Man, he just does things in a way where you're like, wow, it's truly special. I didn't think about it until this year that he could possibly win the Defensive Player of the Year award as well as the MVP of the league. Mm-hmm. And I think we're going to see that before his time is up. And not to put anything on it, but I think he has that type of talent.
Bruce, I'm going to ask you before we move on, how would you, as an all-time great defender, what would you do with him defensively?
There's nothing I could do with him.
Call for the double?
Really, but look at here. They try to be physical with him, and his first 2 years, they had, some success with that. But now, look at how he fights back. And he doesn't back down to the physical contact. He doesn't look to the officials. He just plays through it, and he still figures out a way. Yesterday was a play in the first half when it happened to be the point guard that came from Boston. His name is slipping my mind right now for Portland, but Drew Holiday. Drew slides his feet well, and he's physical. But there's a move that Wemby made that he had no answer to. It's just like, he tall, man. I can't do that. Yeah. I'm going to contest his throat. That's where my hand going to get. I'm going to contest his throat on his shot. So, I would be looking for a lot of help, Chandler.
That's just awesome. Okay, so 2020, you had a list of best players. So it's been a minute, and I don't know if you've changed your list. Just to go back, top 5 all-time, MJ, Kobe, Duncan, Russell, Magic. You've seen 5 more years of play since then. Are you changing that list at all?
No, not yet.
Okay.
I can't change it yet because, there is no championships just yet. Now, when the championship happens, now I can start doing that process of changing up stuff.
Is LeBron not in that list?
I didn't read LeBron on
No, he wasn't.
Damn, Bruce.
No, don't
stop it.
Stop. Not top 5.
He's trying to put you on the hot seat, Bruce.
I mean, he made the list.
Put you on the hot seat.
He made the list.
Hey, as our guy used to say, I'm cooler than the other side of the pillow on this one. And I will say this, MJ was one who taught a lot of players how to fight through adversity, even when you don't have the same type of talent. and building the talent within who you have. I know people are going to say, well, Scottie was this and Scottie was that. I'm not talking about Scottie. I remember Scottie when he had the ice pack on his head in Detroit while Michael was getting pummeled by each Princeton every time he drove to the basket. Now, with LeBron, he left Cleveland and got a championship. And I know people are going to say, yeah, but he got a championship in Cleveland. But he left is my whole point.
Yeah.
He left when it was adverse. And not to say that he doesn't deal with adversity, but MJ didn't leave when Scottie was sitting there with that ice pack on his neck. No, he continued to work hard. He believed in the process, and he weathered the storm. So with that, I always have to go on that side. I'm a lot older than y'all.
No, I know.
No, Bruce, you're right. You and I, same age. You're good.
Does what LeBron's doing now at this age, at this point of his career, like, is there anything he can do to get in that top list for you, or are those other guys?
Well, I mean, but it's amazing what he's doing. I'm watching him. This boy, he double pumped on a reverse dunk the other day, and he's 40. I mean, this is stuff that it doesn't minimize who he is as a player and what he's done for the league.
Yeah.
It's just, in my book, I'm 1971 kid. A lot of these kids that grew up, they only saw LeBron. And they only saw what he was able to do at this particular juncture of his career. And for me, it's so much more to it because of the battles. This is a time when, Michael had to deal with Larry Bird and Magic Johnson being the face of the league, bringing on something new and something improved. Now, I look at what LeBron has been able to do. It's been tremendous, but he didn't change the game, as far as I'm concerned, the way that Michael Jordan did.
Okay, I want to ask you this, too, a two-parter here. I need to know the toughest player you ever had to guard. I try to imagine we could probably guess one of those. And then I want to know the player that we wouldn't guess that always just kind of gave you the most trouble.
Okay, I'm going to tell you this one. I'm going to go second first.
Okay.
And Michael Redd.
Michael
Redd, unorthodox
lefty.
But his release was behind his head. And that system they had in Milwaukee, it was a lot like what Sacramento did with the Princeton offense, but he had so many options as far as going off a screen, straight cut to the basket, back door. Those things gave me issues to the point where Manu and I were together last week, and he was like laughing at me like, hey, I know somebody who gave you problems. When Michael Redd was on the floor, Bruce, you were all over the place. And I'm like, only because he had 4 points when I came off the floor. But then Manu started guarding. Now he got 18. Yeah. But Manu want to blame me.
He got him going.
No, that's a lie. He didn't get it. It was all me. But obviously, the one was Michael. MJ was the toughest. But I say the one that reminded me a lot of that was Kobe. And the mannerism, there were times where I knew everybody quit during the game. At a certain point, if we were winning or I was able to enforce what I was doing, when a guy catches the ball and he just swings and he doesn't look at the basket, that's when I knew I won. I never had that experience with Kobe or obviously MJ. But with Kobe, it was purely about the spirit of competition. I didn't like him when we first started playing against each other because he had something that I wanted. Once I attained a championship, there was a sort of a respect that was built between us for that, to the point where we would have conversations that I never thought we would have. And I'll give you this one. His last year here, he didn't play in the game, and he's sitting in the locker room. And I go in the visitor's locker room, just hanging out. We're just talking basketball. We're talking about, hey, what can we do for the game as far as the youth coming? And at the time I was coaching my kids and some of the kids that went to their school, not talking about elite kids, not at all. But it was about the teaching, left hand layup, right foot, left hand. And now it got to a point where we started talking about left foot, left hand for when you're playing a more athletic individual. But those talks that he and I would share and that we'd have, it was truly special. And it's just a shame that he's not here to enjoy the fruits of his labor.
That's incredible. And Bruce, you were 8-time All-Defense, and make no mistake about it, we know what your impact was on the perimeter. But I want to ask you, in current times, who do you feel like the best perimeter defensive player there is right now?
Man, I like what Steph is doing, Castle. The fact that he's drawing a lot of the top premier scorers of the opponent, and the way he slides his feet, he has this natural ability. I like to call it quick twitch muscles. Lou, you know a lot about them quick twitch muscles, the way you used to get by folks. Even in your 18th year, it was still amazing to me. Like, hey, Lou's still doing it.
I still got my first step. I don't know about the second one, but I got my first
sure
one.
Do. Hey, and I had a year of watching it. Now, if you could have listened to the things that I was saying about you, Lou, you would give me money right now. But that's another story.
I love that.
I appreciate it. I appreciate that.
But no, it's what he's able to do. He's able to take the bump. At one point, I'm watching how this bully ball goes. I was talking with someone. I said, man, if they fall, it seems like it's a charge. And they're like, nah, Bruce, they're going to tell you to get up. I'm like, ooh, I would have been in a whole lot of trouble because these blows that some of these guys are taking, they're taking a hit with the chest, but it creates so much separation, it gives the advantage to the offensive guy.
There was a play last night where Castle cut off Deni 3 times in a row and was so physical and looked at him, they teed him up. They teed him up last night for being too physical and basically getting in your face.
Well, you know, there's a lot of technical fouls right now that go on that I still don't understand.
$2,500.
Yeah, we got to get some consistency going.
Everybody
you should get fined for doing that.
We don't like this at all.
If you do this and your coach challenges you and they're wrong, you should get fined.
Well, you know,
the players should get
it's
fined.
a certain type of guy
I can't watch
that
it anymore.
Get it done.
Okay, well, players getting fined. Chandler, that's not pro player at all. Let me ask you this, Bruce. Was there a guy when you played that was dreading seeing you at night? Like, is there some guy that you
all
just
of them?
Yeah, I know, right? Everybody?
Well, except Michael Redd.
So, I got to tell you this. Now, a friend of mine, Michael Hawkins, used to play at Xavier. We played together in the CBA before he got called up in the NBA. He told me he was with a certain team, and I'm not going to give y'all the name, but he said, yo, I'm listening to these cats talk about you, B, and it's making me proud. My boy got them shaking in their boots. And this dude, he didn't play for 3 years straight. When they would come to San Antonio, he'd have an injury. Now, I can't divulge who it is because it's a Hall of Famer, but I'll leave you with that little tease.
Wow,
wait.
Crazy.
Are we going to guess?
Well, that's the
Give
whole
us a
point
hint.
in
Give
this
us 3 hints.
Tell us after.
It creates something.
Okay, on the flip side, were there any players that you just did not want to
We're
mess
just going
with?
to skip over the fact that some dude
he's not going to give us
not going to tell us.
Doesn't mean we can't guess.
He's not going to give us
I don't want to poke.
You know, I'm going to text you. I'm going to find this out because I'm not sleeping tonight without this information.
All right, Bruce, on the flip side, though, were there players that you didn't want to mess with and you didn't want to poke the bear and you didn't want to get going?
No, that was every player that I played against, especially. There was a week that I had Tracy McGrady, Ray Allen, Kobe, Vince Carter, Dirk Nowitzki, all in a week. I never poked the bear. I was very quiet. Even when you look at me and getting into it with folks, you never see me, you got to see me. No. Because if a guy was having an off night, Manu used to crack up at this. If he's 1 for 7 and I'm coming out of the game and Manu's going in for me at that particular moment, I'm saying, Manu, remember the 3 keys. Remember this, remember that. Because our players in this game, they're so good. All they need to do is see the ball go in once, and it helps put them back on track. So I was definitely never a fan of that. I'll give you this Kobe story. We're at home during the playoffs, and we're rolling, and some fan is getting obnoxious, and I know it's hard for anyone to ever believe that there is an obnoxious fan in San Antonio. But this person was going at Kobe, and they said something like, yeah, Bruce, he owns you. He's this, and that. And Kobe looks at me and says, really, Bruce? That's the way you feel? I said, look here, brother. Remember who's saying what. Yeah. And he looked at me. He was like, respect. Yeah. Because that wasn't my deal. Because that's the worst thing you can do is start chirping at guys who get the opportunity or who has the offense going through them. Why would you say anything? I never understood that.
Now, hold on. Let's talk about a little friendly fire, though, because Tim Duncan told a story about how you used to beat the crap out of Manu. And what you used to do to Manu?
Buddy.
Hey, man, look here. There is no footage of anything like that going on. No, but I'll share this with you. Manu is mi hermano. He is someone that I knew had enough talent, but this was early on, and I wanted to prepare him for what he was going to see. So there would be moments where I pick him up full court. I hadn't picked up nobody full court the whole day, but I was going to do it with him because it was more or less about trying to get him acclimated with what he might see. There might be a bump here. There might be a hold here. And to his credit, he never complained. He never said anything to me. He never looked at Pop and them, and Pop never said anything to me because I think everyone understood what was going on. So as far as his Hall of Fame enshrinement, you're welcome, Manu. You're welcome.
Yeah, I mean, that's fair, by the way. I'm gonna guess, by the way, before we're done. Now it's all my brain can think about. Is the guy an actor?
See,
Did he act?
I already understand.
Are you going back to it?
When
Yeah.
it's like squirrel. Oh,
yeah.
That's Michelle.
That's me.
So I'll give you all this one. This is how talented Michelle Beadle is.
Oh, I didn't know.
She had a camera on her shoulder back in the day when she had the heavy thing, and she got the microphone, and she's doing an interview with me.
And you were doing
and I'm
all.
like,
Yeah, I too.
I'm like, why is this young lady holding this big old camera?
Nobody
Where's
knows.
the guy at that's supposed to be doing this for her? But it just goes to show you her spirit of Spurs that we gonna get it done by any means necessary.
Oh,
I know what you're doing.
What it is.
You're distracting me from trying to guess who was afraid of you. I know exactly what you're doing. Nice try.
Well played.
By the way, why, Bruce, why, when your name is brought up, am I constantly having to defend you as not being a dirty player? Why is that your thing that people call?
Well, part of it is because I didn't care what others thought. I was never trying to work out with anybody. I was never trying to be associated with the upper crust of the NBA. That just wasn't a motivating factor to me, and I wanted to keep some form of anonymity as far as who I am and how I do things. I remember one time I was talking with a certain player. I'm gonna give you guys this name because his mom and my mom were so close. And every time I would see his mom, big hug and kiss. But Ray Allen, he let out the bag one time where he said, you know, Bruce, when we play, you push me a little too much and you're not supposed to do that. And I said, really? I said, oh, okay. What I'm doing, I'm taking information like, oh, he doesn't like this, he doesn't like that. So during the course of the game, I would poke at him. And I remember coming out of a timeout, let's say 14 seconds left on the shot clock, and I started poking at him, and the official says, Bruce, Ray, you two knock it off. And Ray's like, he keeps touching me, he keeps doing this, he keeps doing that. Now it's 6 seconds on the shot clock. Now he has, I forget the French boy name that every time he touched the ball, he thought he was supposed to shoot it for Seattle Supersonics back then. But he's taking the shot instead of Ray Allen taking the shot. I know the play was designed for Ray, but I would implement certain moments to kind of distract them because of the things that I knew.
Dang it, that was my guess, too.
That was good.
Was it?
I was
that
going to guess
wasn't
Ray
the
Allen.
one, though.
Okay,
He
well,
was
all
a
right, I'm back
competitor.
on it.
So
Ray competed. He just didn't like me poking him.
That's fair. Fair.
Bruce, let me ask you about a guy now who in these playoffs is getting a lot of criticism for the way he's playing, and Lou Dort. Like, is that a guy that, are some of these plays dirty, or is he just aggressive and just kind of a physical defender?
But I like to believe he's aggressive because it's nothing worse than you get into the highest of high levels of sport, of whatever it is that you do. And it takes a lot of work for you to get there. You all know that. Lou don't know it like me and you do, Chandler, but, it took us some time to get there, especially me. But once you get there, it's like someone just, they're disrespecting all the work that it took for you to get somewhere. I don't think there's anyone that necessarily wants to be a bad boy because they don't realize what comes along with that. I don't think that's the level of who you should be. Now, if you are a physical defender, all right, well, let's get at it. You're at a level of where you're dealing with some scorers that are truly amazing in what they do. But don't minimize what they've accomplished by saying that they're dirty. And then to combat that, there's always, well, I saw you push a guy. It's like, yeah, I pushed a guy, but that doesn't make me a dirty player. I'm not trying to take him out. What happens when a guy accidentally gets hurt and it was not an intentional play by someone else that's not labeled that? Now again, this is going way back in time when Kevin McHale clotheslines Kurt Rambis. I never heard of Kevin McHale being called a dirty player when Ron Artest, whenever he got involved with someone, they immediately want to say, oh, he's dirty, he's this, he's that. But Ron was just a physical and strong individual. Someone his size that could move his feet the way he did, it was truly impressive. But we want to minimize all that by saying that someone's dirty. I never enjoyed that. I didn't like it. But I think it's callous, so to speak, on a reporter who's never played the game and understand that sometimes things happen during the course of a game. But I don't think there's anybody out there intentionally trying to hurt anyone.
Yeah.
Bruce, real quick, is the guy good at dunking and doing television now?
Excuse me?
You're breaking up.
You're breaking up. I can't hear you. I'm going to guess.
Exactly.
I'm going to guess.
We can find out. Let's just look up.
Yeah, we're going to look it up. We're going to do some research.
We'll get back. We'll have you on next week.
Bruce, I'll see you at the parade. I hope all is well.
Wow, beads.
Eventually.
What happened to flying under the radar?
Okay, you're
Too
right.
late.
You're right. You're right.
Too late.
Thank you, Bruce.
Thanks, Bruce.
She put y'all on the float.
We'll be back.
Run it up, run it back, run it up, run it back.
Gentlemen, let's go ahead and talk about this one. If you guys want to do the highlights, you can. Brunson had a game. 39 points, 15 to 23, 8 assists.
He certainly did.
Cat was 16, 14, 6 assists, 2 blocks. Jalen Johnson finished with 18 at 10 and 6 assists. New York, that's a lot of. New York out-rebounded Atlanta 48 to 27. Okay, so we're going to start with Jalen Brunson because this was one of those quintessential why everybody loves Jalen Brunson nights. Where did that come from?
I thought he was brilliant last night.
Yeah.
Call a spade a spade. I thought he was brilliant last night. I thought he was intentional, the way that he attacked the game. He understood what the moment is, and that's why he's Mr. Clutch. That's why they call he's one of those guys that you put the ball in his hands in the fourth quarter, and you live and die with the decisions that he's going to make to get you over the hump. He was just brilliant. That fourth quarter, he decided in this game that this is a pivotal game 5 for us to go back to Atlanta. We need to be up 3-2, and he wasn't leaving without it. So the way that he attacked, the way that he led his team, everything about this game was brilliant from top to bottom. Every time that Atlanta got close to making the run, Jalen Brunson put that fire out, and that's what you want from your best player. So make no mistake about it, I picked the Atlanta Hawks for personal reasons. Obviously,
Sure.
We know the last time the Knicks and the Hawks, they matched up. I was a part of that. We sent them home. That's where my pick comes from. But I also said Jalen Brunson was the best player in this series. And last night he did everything that he was supposed to do to put his team up 3-2. So
Lou,
love to him.
You just threw Chandler under the bus.
Yeah.
You're like, I picked him for personal reasons.
Well,
but
as a Hawks legend myself.
What I got to do with Chandler reason? My
you're
reason is
separated.
my
It's not
reason.
what we just talked about on the commercial break.
Yeah, well, it changed when we went.
I will say, the Knicks just confuse me, man. Like, and Jalen Brunson, again, when he's on and he's efficient, he's making those tough long-range twos. Like, he looks so good, and like he can get to the paint, gets to the free throw line. Sometimes the game just looks so easy for him, and their offense is free-flowing, and there's movement, and they just look really, really tough to guard. Then some nights they just look like the complete opposite team. That is my only frustration with New York is their inconsistent offense and how they're predictable their offense is, where it's just high pick and roll, dribble the air of the ball, take a late shot clock, long 2 or a long 3. And Karl Anthony Towns, again, they won the game. They looked great last night. Jalen Brunson was unbelievable last night. Like, OG was solid with 17 and 10. If they lost this game, I think we're asking ourselves this morning, why did Cat only take 7 shots? Like, what?
Well, he said it after the game. He said it after the game. He's just finding ways to impact the game. He's not bogging himself down with shot attempts and all of that. He's just trying to find positive, impactful ways to help his team. But that's my point. If
Jalen Brunson didn't do what he did last night, then we're just going to shift our focus again to Cat.
But maybe Cat would have done something differently if Jalen had.
That's the only thing is they're so all over the place where you never know what you're. They're a box of chocolates. You never know what you're going to get.
I'll take 6 assists and 2 blocks. In a blowout win.
Now,
again,
it was a blowout win.
I agree with you.
Regardless, he should be taking 15+ shots. You were Karl Anthony Towns.
Dang, dude, settle down.
I just
You're
have
mad
high
about
expectations for him, and again, it's so inconsistent.
Are you disappointed? Are you
no, because they won and they looked really good. And again, I had the Hawks in 6 as well as an absolute
He's
Atlanta
crashing
Hawks.
out.
Yeah, what's happening? By the way, do you still have the Hawks? Because they're going back. And
why are you crashing out?
I mean, talk to me.
I think they went.
What's on your chest, big fella?
Is this done in 6 or are we going 7?
No, it's not done in 6, but now I think the Knicks, I don't want to change my picks, but I'm already wrong.
Oh, that's why you
Spiler. Hawks in 7. Hawks in 7. I might have been wrong by 1 game.
Oh, okay. I see what's going on.
I might have been wrong.
You
but
don't like being wrong.
Oh, no, I hate being wrong. Who likes being wrong?
Being wrong.
That's what makes sports great. We're allowed to be wrong.
Yeah,
I think
2 days ago
got
we
so
said
caught
the
up.
Hawks are a better team. Last night,
Last night was weird.
It did not look like it.
Listen, in sports media, we get so caught up in
We can't
wanting
be
to
perfect.
sound right and wanting to sound smart. Sometimes that's what makes these players great. That's what makes our game great, because they can prove us wrong time and time again. And we can stand up here and be mad enough to say we were wrong. However, it's a lot of basketball to be played. The series is 3-2. Nobody's won a series yet, but the Knicks are up. Give them credit.
Well said.
Better give him credit. By the way, real quick, Mike Brown talked about the fact that he watches HGTV before games to chill and get quiet, and it's specifically House Hunters International, which I also love. Okay. Did you guys have a weird show that you would sort of zone out to before, like, when it got too loud? Oh, brother.
You know, I watched Entourage.
You are so an Entourage dude.
My name for hotels was even Vinny Chase. I was obsessed with Entourage.
That makes two of us. I was Vinny Chase too.
Were you?
Yeah.
What?
And by the way, I never even had like an alias because I wasn't that
show.
guy, but I remember a playoff series in Portland.
Nice to meet you.
They kept calling my hotel room and calling. So that next day I changed my name to Chandler Parsons to Vinny Chase for the rest of my career.
Why am I? This is so not surprised. I'm not surprised you changed your name to Vinny Chase on the road, but I'm surprised Lou had the name.
I was
Vinny
Vince Chase early, and then at the end of my career, it changed to Dewey Numbers.
Dewey Numbers?
Because I was doing numbers.
I'm done with you for today, and glad the show is over. We have 10 seconds to sit in silence.
By the way, you see it's fizzling. Now it's just
out there.
Now it's
J.R. Smith on the show tomorrow. We'll see y'all then.
Yeah.